For our next story, let's talk about government jobs. Here in India, a government job is sacred. Millions study for it, thousands crack it. It's an assured path to a better life, or so people think, a safe and secure future. But in Argentina, government jobs are under attack. It's part of Milei-nomics, President Javier Milei's economic plan for Argentina. Milei took office in December 2023. At that time, the state employed around 341,000 people. 341,000 government employees. Milei did not like that. He vowed to cut down the numbers. And since then, he's been walking the talk. By March, he'd fired some 9,000 people. This week, new layoffs were announced. Argentina has cut 15,000 more jobs, government jobs, 15,000. So a total of 24,000 people have been fired in the government. If you thought President Milei campaigning with the chainsaw was bad, he's now slicing the government. And he's far from done. He wants to cut more jobs. How many? Approximately 70,000. It's left workers in a state of limbo. Many are calling it a state of psychological terror. They do not know who is next. Temporary workers are living in fear. People are out on the streets protesting.
We received an email informing us that they weren't renewing our contracts and that they won't pay compensation. For this reason, we are today at the door and we are calling to collectively get in. We will organize an assembly because we don't want any of us to end up in the street.
There are enough reasons so that the three central unions discuss a national strike and demand a change to this government.
So which are the worst affected industries? It seems like a bloodbath across the board. The ministries of Economy, Energy and Social Security, the National Institute Against Discrimination, they've all got layoff notices and many more will in the coming days. And this should not be surprising for Argentinians. This is exactly what Milei campaigned on, and this is also what Argentina voted for. Their president describes himself as an anarcho-capitalist. He believes in a free market and he has promised to go to any lengths to achieve it. His first target is the state bureaucracy. Milei wants to remove temporary workers, cancel state contracts and reduce ministries by half, effectively chopping down the size of the state. He says this workforce does not match with Argentina's economy. And he has a point. Let me show you the survey from 2023. It looks at the ratio of state workers to the number of employed people. Topping the list are developed countries, the likes of Norway, Sweden, Denmark. They have a lot of people employed by the government compared to people employed elsewhere. A very high number of government employees. And where does Argentina figure in this list? Number 7. So government hirings are high, the 7th highest in the world. But that does not translate into effectiveness. Here's the World Bank Index from 2022. It rates government effectiveness. Argentina has a score of 41.9 out of 100. So it's not very effective. The government may employ lots of people, but when it comes to work, it's not very good. And that's what Milei wants to target. His enemy number 1 are gnocchis. Disclaimer, he's not waging a battle against the pasta. In Argentina, gnocchi stands for fictitious government workers. They get their government jobs from political parties, so they don't have to do a lot of work. They usually go to office only once a month to collect their salary. And why are they called that? Because in Argentina, gnocchi is often served on the 29th of the month, which also happens to be their payday. Thus the name gnocchi. Now, Milei wants to eliminate them and make the system more lean. Hence, the multiple rounds of layoffs. But Milei is treading a fine line here. He may want to cut costs, but layoffs could trigger social unrest. In fact, they already have. Argentina's economy is struggling. The peso has collapsed. Consumption is low, which means the labor market is bad. Companies are no longer hiring people. And in the middle of all of this, the president's layoffs have left thousands of people jobless. Many fired workers have refused to quit, though. They say they will show up for work. Argentina's trade unions are also up in arms. They've organized a mass strike. So this will be an uphill challenge for the president. In trying to save the economy, he may plunge the country into chaos.